greatness that night. It's about the fight. It ain't about the champion. It's about the fight. That's all I care about, the fight.
Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We know.
At the rematch press conference, Lamont Roach hinted that he may have exposed some of Gervonta Tank Davis's weaknesses in their first meeting. Davis's longtime coach Calvin Ford was quick to respond. "It's over," he snapped. "They'll see who the real champion is in the fight." Ford's aggressive and confident tone left no doubt. He believes Tank will prove his dominance and erase all doubt inside the ring.
And sit there and say to themselves like they came from a karate movie, man, I want to fight just like Tank.
Gervonta Davis is approaching this rematch with intense focus and full dedication. Understanding what's at stake, for both his career and his reputation, he's committed to leaving nothing to chance. Every training session is meticulously planned, aiming to sharpen his technical skills and maximize his physical condition. Davis is determined not to repeat past mistakes and plans to step into the ring as a sharper.
One of the best trainers in boxing, second guy in the corner, is responsible for a lot of the real tactical decisions and tactical analysis that goes on in Gervonta Davis's corner. So you have Coach Calvin, and Coach Calvin is the head trainer, and you have Coach Kenny, who really specializes on preparing game plans specifically for opponents. So to have him talk about what's going on with Lamont Roach, I thought was interesting and insightful, because what he said was that, one, he's not falling for the okie doke. When Mill City asked him, hey, what do you think about the fact that, that Lamont Roach was seen at a basketball game chugging a beer? And I would have added to the question that you see Lamont Roach out giving a bunch of interviews, doing the interview circuit, right? Kind of being a little bit out of character leading into the rematch. Do you think, and this is what Mill City asked, do you think that is something you guys are taking in consideration in preparation for the fight? And
the reunion with Calvin Ford has revitalized Davis's training camp. Their bond, built on trust, respect, and a deep understanding of each other, has always been a foundation of Davis's rise. Ford has helped shape Davis's raw talent into a refined mix of aggression and strategy. Their renewed partnership brings both emotional fuel and tactical focus, aligning Davis's training with his championship aspirations.
Match, do you think, and this is what Mill City asked, do you think that is something you guys are taking in consideration in preparation for the fight? And what Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We know what Lamont Roach brings to the table, and he says that Lamont Roach is we're not believing that he's out there drinking or blowing up a bunch of weight and all of that. He says what most people say, hey, we're going to prepare for the best version of Lamont Roach that is going to, that'll come for us. But the way that he saw the fight coming out was he said he sees it like the fight before, a lot of really crisp shots landing. And the fight is going to be similar, but hey, the fight at the same time is going to be very different. Now, I just happen to have a very good friend named Phoenix the Assassin who breaks down fights for me. He's a trainer, got a world-class eye for fights. And what he speculated should be the difference between the first fight and the second fight for Gervonta is that Gervonta is going to need to spend a lot more time fighting on the outside and scoring points for a longer period of time on the outside, and then making sure that, and basically force it.
For Davis, this rematch means more than another title bout. It's a chance to reclaim his identity and silence the critics. The first fight left questions about his performance and status in the sport. A dominant victory this time would reaffirm his place at the top and show that the previous result was a one-off, not a sign of decline. This is a defining moment in Tank's career.
Lamont Roach, he feels that he won. Do you think the best thing going forward, they should just run it back, have a rematch?
Oh, yes, most definitely. I think a rematch is definitely called for. And I think probably, the sooner the better. So I would say, hey, let's work on a deal to where we could get in there within the
For Davis, this rematch means more than another title bout. It's a chance to reclaim his identity and silence the critics. The first fight left questions about his performance and status in the sport. A dominant victory this time would reaffirm his place at the top and show that the previous result was a one-off, not a sign of decline.
I don't know if Lamont Roach exposed weaknesses of Tank Davis. It very much reminds me of Rolly Romero versus Ryan Garcia. What Roach did, Rolly was doing the same thing. He ended up implementing it better against Ryan Garcia. Tank was having huge issues, and that's the Black Two Sugars. Watch me call that fight. I started laughing. I couldn't believe it because all he was patient with good power. All Roach was patient. He stayed focused. That's why him drinking and partying and shit is messing with me, because he beat him here. He stayed so damn focused, and he knew when Tank was going to punch. He knew when not to punch.
In their initial matchup, Davis appeared less sharp than usual. His defense was inconsistent, and fatigue set in as the fight wore on. Roach capitalized on these lapses, disrupting Davis's rhythm and confidence. These vulnerabilities didn't go unnoticed. Fans and analysts alike questioned if Davis was at his best. The rematch offers Davis a chance to address those weaknesses and show the boxing world what he's truly capable of.
He wants to do therapy. He wants to do real estate. They want to say he wasn't all in because him and Roach are friends, and he's going to be focused for the second fight. A lot of excuses. They want to say it's because of the braids, the oil getting in his eye. Whatever. This is what really happened. And I just now came to this conclusion because I've been making some other videos for Patreon.
After the fight, Davis opened up about the mental and emotional strain he experienced. He admitted the pressure had affected his focus and even led him to consider stepping away from boxing. His decision to seek therapy revealed how deeply the bout impacted him, not just physically, but mentally.
Start cooling up. Gotta let it go. Keep turning, step around. Keep turning.
Since then, the atmosphere in Davis's training camp has changed completely. Every drill, every sparring session now carries a heightened sense of urgency. His footwork has improved, showing greater balance and fluidity. His reaction time has sharpened, making him more responsive in exchanges. Gone is the casual.
We gotta talk about it. So Tank officially came out and says that he wants to put this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Roach gets a second time to prove himself. Now, in my personal opinion, his stock has already risen. He is already notable. The fact that he went toe-to-toe with Tank on a decision that ended in a draw, whether he loses this second fight or not won't even matter. Because he's directly in line to go against the Keyshawn Davis, the Shakur Stevensons, and etc., the Devin Haney's, and etc. I can see him moving up and going against Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or somebody like that. So many people to fight. Lamont Roach has definitely proven himself. But let's talk about something else. And that is the hairstylist situation. In my humble opinion, I believe she should have been quiet. As a hairstylist, there was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing was going to look at that like, I don't want her to braid my hair. No one would have said that. But she hurt herself when she came out and publicly made multiple claims on all these receipts that no one needed, no one asked for, saying, oh, this had no grease or oil in it. No one cares. Nobody even believes it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet. But you guys let me know in the comments. Should she have remained quiet, or should she have?
This rematch isn't just about titles or rankings. It's about pride, redemption, and personal validation. The draw in their first fight left Davis's legacy in question. That setback has fueled a deep hunger to prove himself again, not just to fans, but to himself. This is more than a rematch. It's a personal mission to reclaim respect and reassert dominance.
Surprised by Roach and Tank. What do you think the biggest surprise was in the fight?
It wasn't a surprise because we know Roach. It wasn't a surprise. Roach can fight. A lot of people think because a person is not popular, they don't exist. There's fighters out there that can rumble. They just got to get the opportunity. You know?
What's the difference makers coming into this fight?
The first fight, I thought, everybody thought Jalil won. We just got to turn, hit the gears a little harder. We ain't really got to change too much. Just got to put the icing on the cake, Put the icing on the cake this time, that's all. He did enough to win the last fight, but we was in somebody else's territory,
This time around, being in Florida, do you feel like it's a mutual zone?
Yeah. It's more of an even playing field in Florida.
Okay. Do you feel like he needs a stoppage to win the fight due to what happened the first time?
Not necessarily. Our stoppage is good, but not necessarily. You just got to put the icing on the cake. That's all. Just hit the gears a little harder. That's all. He hit the gears hard enough the last time, but boxing is a dirty game. It's a dirty game. You got biased people, unfair people. Anybody saw that first fight and said Jalil lost, they don't know boxing.
If Jalil is successful in this fight, what do you guys expect for Jalil? And then, obviously...
This rematch is critical for both Davis and Roach. It's their opportunity to settle lingering questions and determine who truly belongs at the top. Skipping this fight would leave their legacies in limbo. Both camps understand the magnitude of this bout, adding a layer of urgency and intensity to their preparations. There's no room for excuses, only answers.
I know a lot of people, look what they did with Gervonta too. I want everybody, all these young fighters that are listening to this, and you could clip this. It's a short part right here.
I got you.
To Ryan could clip this right here. So all you young fighters, look at the amount of love they were giving and sharing to Gervonta Tank Davis prior to the fight. Look at what all the reporters were doing prior to the fight. Look how they were all laughing at all his jokes prior to his fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, look how many were waiting to down this man. Down him. See, I'm going to talk my smack with Tank, but that's because I want to fight him. That's me. I can say that. But I just want all you young fighters to really look about it. They don't care about us.
Yeah.
They won't ever care about us. When you're winning, they're going to be there. But they're waiting for any moment to slip up. Just a man, even a draw. Look how much hate he got out of it.
Yeah, not to get deep, but it's a part of our psychology.
Shout out to my man Lamont.
All right, so you sparred Lamont Roach in preparation for his bout with Gervonta Davis.
Absolutely.
First, what did you think of the fight?
What did I think of the fight? It's a little different for me because it's definitely a point of bias there.
Wait, let me put out a disclaimer. He's from Baltimore.
Definitely, I mean, East Baltimore all day. But I'm looking at it from a point of bias because his dad, Ben Johnson Sr. and all them guys that was down there, the coaches Tim and everything like that, they all good people. So I got to know them on a more personal level. And then I got to see like how hard a world champion works. And not only that, to see how he treated his people. So I was going for him just off of personality alone, but everything else, he made me believe in Camp for real. Because me and him might have similar personalities. Know what I mean? As far as the ring, you know what I mean? So everything we was ready for, like talking shit and everything like that, because that was coming from me, you know what I'm saying? Me and Lamont. So everything was just everything for real. But everything else, he made me believe in Camp for real. Because me and him might have similar personalities. Know what I mean? As far as the ring, you know what I mean? So everything we was ready for, like talking shit and everything like that, because that was coming from me, you know what I'm saying? Me and Lamont. So everything was just everything for real. I think he should have won too, you know what I'm saying? But actually when I was there, I thought they actually was gonna like rob, you know what I mean? But you can't, you know what I mean? You can't deceive the people that's there for what they saying for real.
So you felt like he should have got the nod in the
Absolutely.
decision.
Especially with all the other controversy too. It should have been overturned, but we know how boxing works. But nah, I mean, we running it back for a reason, you know what I'm saying?
Did that teach you a lesson though?
Absolutely. You know what I mean? But you gotta just do, it seemed like, cause I feel like he did, not only did he shock the world, it's like